Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the start of a brand new series. So, we'll be doing a beginner guide on Etheria Restart, how to go about playing the game completely free to play. So, in order to do that, I've created a new account. So, I've been playing this game since day one of launch, and I've tried multiple routes of account building. I played around with 10, 12 accounts, and now finally, I feel I'm in a position where I've optimized progress and I can do this guide, which will kind of help all players who are just starting the game understand the game and how to go about it. So in this episode, we will cover five topics. So first, we will do our initial summons, which you get. So when you start your account, you get certain free summons, and there are codes also available. You can go to pridewin.gg. They generally have all the initial codes updated, so that will give you a good amount of summons at the start. Then we will cover how to go about building heroes. We will also talk about team building. I think that is the most essential part at the start of the game. Then I will touch upon lattice and explain exactly what it is. And it is kind of, I would say, the single biggest bottleneck in the game. And also, if done correctly, can give you a big advantage and big boost in the early game. Also, we will cover what is the right way to go about building heroes. So these are the five things we will cover in this first episode. So now let's get started with it. Let's do our initial summons. So we've got 50 summons. Now, when you are starting out, this banner is your friend, the permanent banner. Ignore all these other banners for the first 14 days. At the end of 14 days, you will again get one more SSR, which is a random SSR ticket. After you get that, that's when you can actually go in here and pick any single hero that you want. So you don't want to use this targeted summon too early. This pities out at 40. Why am I asking everyone to pull on the permanent banner? I will cover that as well. Now, if you go into the probabilities here and go into the rules, so the pity here is at 80. You get 10 random free summons at the start, so that's why it's showing 69. Now, this is the only banner where there is a soft pity. So after you do 50 summons, the subsequent drop rate increases. So your chance of picking up a SSR hero or a SSR Apex hero increases. This is the only banner which has a soft pity. So like if we go into say this banner and we see the rules here. So this is 80 guaranteed. There is no soft pity on this banner. So that is why typically when you will pull on any of these hero banners, whether it is any of them, any of the three that are up right now, the likelihood of you having to pity the character is far greater. So you want to get into these when you're looking for a certain or a particular champion. But when you're starting the game, you don't really have any champions, right? So this is pretty much the best banner to pull on for the first 14 days. So yeah, let's get started with our summons. Let's see how our account shapes up. I am looking mainly for SR heroes. I'll explain why. Initially, it is a very bad idea to try to invest and build SSR heroes, especially if you are free to play. We will definitely touch upon that as well. Oh, Valerian is good. That's a good pull. I'm happy with that. She's going to be clutch. So okay. What do we get here? Oh, we already hit SSR here. So you will, even if you don't spend money in this game and you're just starting out, getting heroes is not going to be a problem. They're quite generous when it comes to giving you summon tickets. You will end up getting every hero in the game. Dating now, that's a very good DPS. He's the best single target DPS SR hero in the game. So that's always a good pull. Vice is great as well. Who did we get? Oh, we got Ling Lao. So we are anyways. So this is not ideal because anyways we would get her at the end of 7 days for free. So this is one of the SSRs that you will get free in the game. So summoning her is not that great, but that's okay. No, we don't want to rate you right now. Oh, we hit gold again. All right. So even though I'm getting all these SSRs, I'm not really going to be focusing and building them. Wow, Rosa, she's again a great DPS hero. And building too many SSRs initially can actually be the biggest blocker on your account as well. We will cover that when we get on to lattice investments. Okay, 20 more to go. So see, we've already pulled two SSR heroes, which is kind of insane. Oh, we got Diana as well. She's also pretty good. Actually, most of the SR heroes in this game are also pretty good. Let's see. Oh, we got Kraken again. Good hero. And we got Fangus as well. So yeah, now we are done with that. So do not use your gem currency for summoning. I know it can be very tempting, but it's a pitfall you must avoid, because initially in the game you will get tons and tons of these gems. Later on they'll dry up, and you want to be using these gems primarily for refreshing your energy. It costs about, the first one costs 60, and you can maximum do up to 10 exchanges in a day for 960 of these gems. So now we will move on to our next topic. So we will talk about team building first, then we will get into heroes. So basically, if you look at this game, and this is firstly from a completely PvE perspective, you have three thresholds. These are where you get your gear: Teramatom, Doki Doki, and Aurora. In terms of priority, so Teramatom is the most useless threshold, I would say. Doki Doki and Aurora are your main gear farming thresholds. Now, the early game, it will be, so that's how the game also unlocks it actually. So you get this unlocked at level 30. Doki Doki is going to be your home for the first 30 days when you are kind of gear farming. Because to beat PvE content also, you will need speed. And this is the dungeon which gives you speed gear. And if you played any turn-based game before, you know speed is king, right? And especially in the PvE, you will require Doki Doki gear. So this is your main team that you want to build first, right? Other than that, then you have your Grim Pursuit. This is where you unlock shells. So shells, I will make a completely separate video about. It is very important because shells are actually, I would say, getting the right shell is more important than the gear farming. So you will end up spending a lot of time in these uh, basically these Grim Pursuit dungeons. And as you can see, there are tons of them that unlock at every level. Don't worry, I'll make a guide on each one of them. Now you'll also notice that right here. So when we were talking about team building, right? You can see that there is this red. So let's go into this fight for a second and show you. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So in most, if you played any of these games earlier, like a Raid Shadow Legends, Epic 7, or even Summoner's War, uh, these affinity advantages and disadvantages are important but not game breaking. But in this game, if you bring in a disadvantage element, so like for example, this is a red dungeon, so red is strong against green. Now, if I put in a green hero here, it will reduce my chance of critting by 30%, 50% of effect accuracy is gone, and final damage dealt will increase by will reduce by 15%. But at the same time, if this is strong affinity, suppose it's a full blue team, it will increase the crit rate by 15% and also will increase the final damage by 15%. So affinity is essential when you're building a team in this game. So now what you want to do initially, once you do your first few days of summoning, 3 to 4 days of summons, what you need to think through is what is the team I'm going to be using. So you want to prioritize your Doki Doki team. So if we see, Doki Doki is blue affinity. Now, if I want to beat this dungeon, ideally the best thing to do would be a full green team. So like if I throw in a gray here, and now as you see, I don't really have that many green options, right? So you would be like, what do you do then? Now, for a team comp, it's a five-man team comp. So what do you need? You need one DPS, which can be, let's say, Gray, for example, here. You need one healer. Ling Lao will heal us. You need control. Control, basically, to control these guys from taking too many turns because they hit really hard. So Kraken. Kraken fits in nicely here. So he's neutral affinity. So neutral affinity is also fine as long as it's not red. Like if I throw in a red hero here, I might be able to storm through the first few levels, but later at some point, these guys will get one shot, irrespective of which hero it is. It could be the best hero in the game, they'll still end up getting one shot. Now, the what else do we need? We can go two debuffers here, or we could go two healers. That's either way you can take a call. So like we can throw Kachi in here. I'll tell you why Kachi makes sense here when I come to Lattice. And you could probably throw in a Vice here. Vice again, since he's light affinity, all light affinities are neutral. So you don't really end up having any kind of disadvantage here. So which is also kind of cool. So this can be like my starter team based on the heroes I have right now on my account. Later on, this can transition, but ideally, what you want to do once you have your five-man team sorted, and since we are on day one, I can't show you what would be the team that will take us to the end game, but you get the basic idea of team building. You don't want to have the wrong affinity. If you have the stronger affinity, the stronger the affinity, the better. So if it's green, if it's a full green team, killer. So your team is more likely to kind of clear it. You want one DPS, definitely one healer at least. So in this case, it can be Ling Lao. Ling Lao is great for this dungeon. We'll go over that at a later stage when we are doing a Doki Doki guide as well. Right now in this video, I just want to show you the essence of the team building. We can quickly just do this fight as well. I don't have any gear on them, so I don't know if I'll clear it. As still a level 6 account. Why Gray is a good DPS, I'll quickly touch upon that. So Gray S2, his second skill is a crit rate up, and when he crits, he puts a defense down. So kind of perfect, right? You want to have debuffs. So the more number of debuffs on these guys, what do you call them? Let's just call them enemies for now. So the more number of debuffs you have on them, the more damage you do to them. Kachi has a stun, right? This red guy here. He's actually wrong affinity. You don't want to use him in this dungeon. I didn't pay attention there. But since this is now a basic level of the dungeon, it won't matter. But later on, he'll get one shot. And a lot of people struggle with understanding that this game, especially on the PvE part, is not just about throwing in the best heroes, right? All the SSR heroes. It is about building team synergy. If you have team synergy, you can clear any content in this game with any heroes. It is That is how essential and important team building is in this game. It's a little different from all the other turn-based games. So I have played everything from Raid Shadow Legends to Epic 7 to Summoner's War. You name it, I've played it, right? But I have never seen, so like you see the red guy, he died. He got one shot. So pretty much, let's just quickly clear this. So you're getting the idea of the team building part. So now we'll go into the lattice investment. I'm going to cut this part out because this could probably be a long fight. So yeah, we'll talk about lattice investment next. So now we will talk about, I think, which is the most important aspect of this game. So all the heroes, as you can see, they have three skills and each have 5 levels to it. And if you want to see the details, you can click here and let's click on this skill, for example. So you have first 5 levels which give you stats, and then you have these skills. Now on a SSR hero, you need a perfect lattice. But if we go to a SR hero, the currency is different. The currency changes to evolution lattice. So it's the purple lattice. And then if we go and look at our hero, for example, like this guy right here, it's a third currency which is called microlities. So each hero needs these to skill up. Now each skill requires four of these lities. So four into three skills mean about 12 lities to max out one hero. Now, if you build a team of all SSR heroes, let me firstly tell you, even if you are spending money in this game, it would take you a month to max out a SSR hero. That is why you do not want to start off by building SSR heroes. It is much easier. So there are various ways where you can acquire this. So we don't have everything unlocked. So I'll show you guys that separately. So every time you summon, you get this blue currency. So as you can see, 3000 is the cost for one perfect Lattice and 1000 for this, and only 100 for the R-rated heroes. In the arena shop, you will end up getting one of each at least, and the micro lattice you can buy five. So as you can see, it is much easier. It's very easy to build a R hero. You can max out a R hero in a week's time. You can max out a SR hero in 2 weeks time, and a SSR hero will take you currently at least a month. So you don't want to over invest in them. So ideally, when you start the game, you pick up one SSR hero that you want to level up, and you level them up to the levels that you need. So let's take Ling Lao for example. For Ling Lao, her S1 skill is absolutely essential. Why? Because on a S1 skill, she also gets an additional 15 speed. So any debuffer buffer, you want them taking as many turns as possible. So having that extra speed definitely makes her viable. And her last skill gives you Veil of Prayer for 2 turns. Veil of Prayer is basically a it removes a debuff. So that chance increases here as well, and it gives you a 2 turn Veil Prayer. Her second important skill to max out is her S3, because as you can see, this is a 5 turn cooldown. If you max it all the way, it becomes a 4 turn cooldown. And this gives you immunity, which is again a very critical skill. Her S2 is not that important. So when we build Ling Lao, and Ling Lao will be the first SSR hero that we invest in, you want to get her to maxed out on skill 1 and skill 3. Until then, just focus on building her up, and parallelly you pick up SR heroes. So you should build 2 SR heroes at a time that you can focus down on, and 2 R heroes. So if we look at our account right now, what would I do? Now if I look at the SSR pool that we have, Ling Lao, definitely as a healer we want to level her up first. Rosa is a great DPS, but we have plenty of alternatives here. So when we look at our SR heroes, we can invest in Ditting, we can invest in Fangus. Both of them are great heroes. The advantage with Ditting is, since he's neutral affinity, he can pretty much be used on any single target boss. So he'll be great in Grim Pursuit. Fangus also works. So we can pick one of these two heroes as our DPS and level him up. And again, you want to first do not try to level up two heroes at the same time. Let's say for example, if I start investing in a Kraken and a Fangus at the same time, instead of 2 weeks, I'll end up taking a month to build two heroes, which will kind of slow down my progress. Now when we look at our heroes, so this guy Vice is the best R hero in the game, so you definitely, he will be the first hero that we invest in. And this is a hero that all of you will get when you start the game, because R rated heroes, you will end up pretty much getting them in the first 20-30 summons. You will get all of them. So Vice and Kachi, these are your two priorities. Kachi, because he's got crowd control, he can stun, he can push back, right? He's also got a turn meter boost, which gives you attack up to your hero. So he's buffing and debuffing. So he's a great hero. Vice, he's got a taunt. Taunt is something that works on most bosses, but that I'll cover later on. You don't need to worry about that right now when you're starting the game. But you're getting the basic idea. Lattice planning and investment is the single most important thing in this game. When you're leveling up heroes, eventually you will get all of them like maxed out to 6 stars. The game gives you that much of that currency to do so. So that will not be a challenge. Your biggest challenge is skill ups, and skill ups are something. So a good, like a Rosa, for example, she's one of the best DPSs in the game. But if you don't skill her up, she's average. And that is the case with most of these SSR heroes. And that's why you will see a lot of people in the community cribbing about how there are not enough gold lattices in the game. But the whole point is you need to mix and build your heroes. Do not overinvest only in one type of hero. As I also told you, there are elements. So you want to invest in red, blue, green, and definitely your neutral. So you need to spread out what you're building. So at a time, you should have one team in mind that you're focusing on in building. Then you move on to your next team. That will make this game extremely less frustrating for you guys. Trust me on that. I have tried this out on 10 different accounts. So trust me on that part. Modules are your gear. Now, the left side have kind of fixed stats where you have attack on here, you have HP here, and defense here. This is where your variation comes in. Here, like she's a damage dealer, right? You can have your attack, you can have HP, you can have crit rate, you can have crit damage. You have different main stat lines for the right side. The only thing I would suggest, do not put flat stats. Do not gear flat stat on the right side unless you're looking for speed. If you have speed and it is a swift rush piece, you can kind of level it up trying to get that extra speed. So yeah, that covers the building heroes part. We've discussed team building, lattice investment, gem usage, and pretty much building the right heroes in the right way. So this is where I think I'll stop this first part of the guide. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. That will really uh, keep me motivated to keep making content on this game. I think it's a good game. It's got some problems, but the devs are fixing it, and they're still cautious, right? With still new servers to launch, still new geographies to cover. We are still 1 month away from China and Korea launch, which I think for the game would be good. It's, I think, the uh, big part of the money in gacha comes from those markets. So I just hope that this guide will be helpful. And what I will do is also I'll make shorter videos covering each and every topic in detail. But again, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next part of the guide.